First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into Weather Extra. Wes Wyatt here in the First Alert Weather Center. You can tell today across Alabama the humidity certainly starting to kick in around here as we get ready to close the door on May and say hello June, the start of the Atlantic hurricane season. We are tracking some activity in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's get you over to First Alert AccuTrack radar, and we've had some pop-ups. You can see here in Marion County a little downpour around the Hamilton area that popped up earlier. Actually, this is what the radar looks like right now. You can see with these isolated showers. There's a little bit of rain here across Shelby County, seeing some development back in here not far from Wilsonville. That's moving back to the west direction, east to west. We're still in that flow pattern here, and you can see some heavier downpours. Several of these have popped up. You may get a rumble of thunder, so stand by. Columbiana, check the Fox 6 weather app. Actually, Chelsea, we probably have a good view of this from our camera there at Boardman Carr Law Firm. South of Utah, we have a little pop-up, and that's crossing the Warrior River right there between Utah and Forkland. By the way, I want to mention this. Next Wednesday, a week from today, JP and I will be at Mills Pharmacy there in Utah from 2 until 6 o'clock programming weather radios. So this is an area I know we've been hard hit with active weather here past year. Make sure you stop by and see us there. We'll be at Mills Pharmacy next Wednesday from 2 in the afternoon until 6 o'clock if you're in the area. I've zoomed in over Tuscaloosa County because we did have a little shower right here around Lake Tuscaloosa. You can see it's dissipated, and a little bit of rain that's showing up around Haleyville. Looks like this has weakened. It looked a bit more impressive when it was over around Needmore, but you can see that is also weakening there. But very isolated stuff. The heavier rain and storm activity has been happening down in the Wiregrass. You can see down towards Ozark and Troy, Alabama, and Dothan and Columbus, just out to Columbus there. You got some wet weather that's moving from southeast to northwest back in towards Montgomery, and I want to point this out because I think some of this could hold together and reach our far southern areas. This is associated with that disturbance that we're telling you about here across the Gulf of Mexico. As far as the chance for development goes, the Hurricane Center still has it at 20%. You see there's a lot of spin going on here. The water temperatures are certainly plenty warm. The environmental conditions, though, the conditions aloft, things right now are keeping this at a low chance for development, but there's an upper low here. It's not necessarily a what we call a warm core low just yet, or a classic tropical type low, although I know it looks rather impressive here. As we check out the model data, you can see it's drifted to the north. There's a look at lunchtime tomorrow, and it's also kicked off all that rain I was showing you there along coastal areas. But the data, and we're seeing a lot of this in some of the high-resolution guidance, including the global data. The GFS also wants to take this north, and then it starts moving south. You see that by Friday and Saturday. It's still out here over the Gulf. Will need to be monitored there for possible development, but it looks like it pulls away. We have more of a north flow that starts to kick in around here by the weekend, and what that's going to do is it's going to bring a chance for some less muggy air, although it looks like that humidity is really going to be a factor here in the short term. It looks like by Saturday and Sunday that's going to help us out with those comfort levels. We got some hot weather on the way for Saturday and Sunday, one of the next big things that we're talking about. And how long will the temperatures stay in that general range? Any big pattern shifts anytime soon? We'll let you know. That's all coming up right here on Weather Extra, and we'll show you the 24-hour forecast data, updates on there's actually drought conditions there along the coast, so rainfall, even though it may spoil those beach plans, it's actually we're going to be talking about what's been happening there around the beach as far as the forecast if you're heading down over the weekend. And we've had a lot going on with the El Nino. It's been impacting the patterns here across the country. We're going to show you more on the forecast, how that's going to impact the hurricane season forecast. That's all ahead here on Weather Extra.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Good Day, Alabama.
A new morning comes with preparing right, because while you slept, news broke.
We have new information from that breaking news that happened this morning.
While you head out, the storm we gave you the first alert for is on its way in. And as the key turns the ignition, your shorter route to work is being found.
Avoid 459 southbound completely because of a crash.
A new morning means everything you need for a good day is on Good Day, Alabama, always on your side.
the First Alert traffic you need to get you there safe and on time. Tomorrow morning, everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama.
You're late, out the door, and on the go. Don't worry.
Good Day Alabama continues all morning long.
And wherever you watch, this is what you need to know right now.
More reporters on the streets with more hours of news when you need it. Everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama. Knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Of course, Memorial Day was the unofficial start of summer, so we check in now with Matt and Mickey for the beach forecast.
So Mickey,
Yes.
guess what tomorrow is?
It's the first day of June.
It's also meteorological summer.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I know it's your favorite season.
Ooh,
Am I right?
I love summertime, hot and steamy, and jump in the water. And it's my favorite time. Go to the beach, go to the lake, go to the pool.
Did you
Fun
say
time.
you said the beach?
I said it.
How about a forecast for the Gulf Coast?
How timely. We do have a low down in the Gulf of Mexico, and a pretty good chance of rain tomorrow down there, about a 50% rain chance. Not so much here as we've heard, but decent chance at the beach.
Yeah, but then hopefully as we go into Friday, maybe just an isolated chance. Maybe that disturbance moves a little bit farther away. So we'll be watching that closely over the next couple of days. But of course, if you are going to the Gulf Coast, here's a look at that UV index. Because of clouds and higher rain chances, that UV index is actually fairly low tomorrow in that medium range. But after the storms move out, look what happens Friday and Saturday with that UV index.
Raggy. Yeah, we got a lot of sunshine out there. The UV's pretty high, in fact, very high.
In fact, extreme by Saturday.
Wow.
So what does that mean?
Well, you know, you need to wear the sunscreen or, you know, protect yourself from the sun. I wear those shirts because the sunscreen gets in my eyes.
Ooh.
When I go swimming, it just burns. So I wear one of those polyester shirts and a hat.
Right. So, you know, with the medium UV index, it just means there's a moderate risk. So just stay in shade during the midday hours. But then when you get into that very high range, like we'll see Friday going into the weekend, you really need extra protection. So especially if you're sensitive to the sun, between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., you might want to avoid being in direct sunlight.
We're iron male.
Yeah. So extra SPF, apply every 2 hours. Just stay safe.
That's what I do. All right, well, we've got a high rip current threat too. We've got the red flags, and anytime they're going flying, you need to stay out of the water because that rip current can suck you on out of there.
That's right, and it's forecast to drop to that low range on Saturday, but it wouldn't surprise me if it stays in that moderate risk, especially if you're heading down to Gulf Shores over the weekend. But what do these flags mean, Mickey?
Well, purple is usually jellyfish out there. It's dangerous marine life, but it can mean anything, but it's most usually associated with jellyfish. Green flags, you don't see those flying much of the Gulf. They always fly the yellow just as a precaution to keep people aware of their surroundings, and there's always a little bit of an undertow, but when it's red, Matt, you don't need to go out there.
Yeah, stay away from the water if you can, and that looks to be the case over the next 24 to 48 hours. How about the rainfall? Of course, that tropical system is going to produce a lot of rain off the coast in the Gulf of Mexico. On the outside, maybe about a quarter. Farther to the east towards the Florida Panhandle, maybe picking up 3/4 of an inch of rainfall in those spots over the next 5 days.
So here's your extended forecast. Best chance of rain comes tomorrow. So if you're heading on down tomorrow, by the time you get there, maybe you're unpacking. You can't go to the beach anyway. So you can just get a good night's sleep and head to the beaches on Friday through the weekend. Looking pretty darn good.
Mid-80s and then perhaps just a little bit cooler. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, low to mid-80s. Overnight lows in the 70s. Looking very nice.
And you can take a picture while you're there. Share it with us on the First Alert Weather app. Check the latest forecast. I'm getting my beach hat ready. There it is.
That's a nice hat.
Yeah. I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. Have a great first day of meteorological summer.
It's beaching.
And that will be here for tomorrow. In the meantime, we're on your side asking the experts about keeping your children safe if they're at the pool this summer. What you wear is, of course, a part to remember. You want to wear bright color swimsuits and have the proper life jacket size. Experts say making your child uncomfortable in the life jacket can also be dangerous to them.
They were to fall over and they're not going to be able to roll over or get themselves up properly. So you run the risk of being able or having your face in the water and not being able to look back up.
Experts also say get swimsuit colors such as hot pink and neon yellow or orange. Muted blues or greens can be difficult to see from the bottom of a pool. Tania?
Well, Lauren, Panama's government has declared a state of environmental emergency across the country due to extended drought. The announcement follows high temperatures, evaporation, and lack of rain, which could mean the arrival of El Nino and a drop in water production for human consumption and agricultural activity. The Ministry for the Environment said this yesterday. Video shows here drought video from a lake where the president's office issued a statement highlighting 2 artificial lakes where water levels have decreased drastically by the long dry season. The lakes supply water to more than half of the country. The country's temperature is expected to rise while rainfall across 4 regions will drop, according to the same statement. Panama's Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology had announced the country has seen an equivalent to 6 months of rainfall deficit between 2022 and 2023. And dangerous wildfires are continuing to threaten homes and property in Halifax. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston told residents on Tuesday to stop burning, and he banned all activity in forests. He said the wildfire damage is extensive and heartbreaking. Creason spoke with residents forced from their homes.
There's lots of houses still standing on Yankeetown Road, but there's lots of houses that are totally destroyed too.
Danny Osborne's home was not spared by the wildfire. He says his house and many of his neighbors' homes in Yankeetown on Jenna Lane are all gone.
We're staying with friends in our camper actually in their yard over in Sackville right now. We've reached out to a campground who have been very, very helpful for evacuation.
The 788-hectare fire 20 kilometers west of Halifax remains out of control, with wind gusts expected to make conditions difficult for crews throughout the day.
With the weather changing, temperatures increasing, humidity is dropping a little bit, getting warmer, winds picking up. So the hotspots that we're seeing are coming back to life.
Of the 200 structures damaged or destroyed by the fires, officials say 151 were homes.
Now that's our number, that's an assessment. There may be more.
Today, evacuees continue to go back to their homes to get their pets and emergency supplies.
Where do you go at 11 o'clock at night? So we came to the Walmart parking lot.
Kim and Wendy Cochran were evacuated Sunday night and have been living in this parking lot since. They have been keeping a close eye on their security cameras as their house is still untouched by the fires.
I think our little communities should be briefed by somebody to tell us what's happening, and you just wonder, when can I go back?
To the southwest in Shelburne County, the more than 10,000-hectare fire also remains out of control, with helicopters and water bombers attempting to protect more homes. Today, Nova Scotia's premier banned all forest activity and pleaded to residents to obey the burn ban.
This fire continues to grow, but the people here on the ground, the firefighters, they're working incredibly hard.
Well, the mayor there is reminding people not to re-enter fire evacuation zones without authorization, saying that the fires remain dangerous and unpredictable. Meanwhile, the heat is cranking up for us this weekend, and we could possibly see temps reaching the 90s. We'll be right back with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt for a breakdown on the 7-day, and then we'll go beyond the 7-day with First Alert Meteorologist Lauren Linehan. First Alert Weather Extra. We'll be right back.
If your bath looks like this or this, you know it's time for a replacement. Hey everybody, Joe here with BJ Worzen, owner of West Shore Home, to talk about how he's making sure you get the best possible value on your shower or bath replacement. BJ.
That's right, Joe. Now more than ever, I want to make sure people are getting the most for their money. And there's a few ways we're doing that. First, we have hundreds of styles and options for your bath remodel, so you can make sure you're getting exactly what you want. Second, as you know, we only use employee installers, never subcontractors. So our crew is going to follow a process to make sure everything is installed properly. And then finally, a few days after the job's done, we're going to give you a call and make sure you're 100% completely satisfied with that experience.
Amazing, because a lot of contractors will show up and the second they're done, the customer's on their own. You're saying West Shore is there every step of the way, even following up after the project's done.
You got that right, and it's all backed by our online reviews. Right now, we have over 26,000 5-star reviews.
That just shows how much you truly care about your customers. Now, how about somebody who needs that shower right now but's been putting it off because of cost? How can you help them?
So we're making bath remodel affordable for almost any budget. For a limited time, you can get your shower or bath remodeled for only $99 a month. And for anyone who's watching this commercial right now, if you call in and mention it, we're going to throw in free installation as well.
You're saying you'll do the entire project from tear out to complete installation for as low as $99 a month.
That's right. Let's take a look at the project. Here's a time-lapse video of one of our installations. You saw there, we started in the morning, removed everything down to the studs, and put in a new shower all in the same day. Here's some more. Easy low-step showers, deep soaking tubs, beautiful wall styles, and modern accessories. We can do jobs like these for as low as $99 a month.
BJ, thanks so much. Folks, West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling more affordable than ever. Call now and take advantage of this extended offer. Get your new shower or bath for as low as $99 a month. And you heard BJ, if you call in now, he's going to do free installation on that project as well. Call the experts at West Shore Home now.
Welcome back into Weather Extra. Out there on radar right now, the wet weather's very isolated, but we did see an increase in the coverage out there. We saw a little bit more on the radar a couple hours ago, but the wet weather for most of our area is going to thin out. Notice to the far south, though, some of this rain around Montgomery. Some of these showers and storms to the far south could sneak in to our southern areas because of that tropical disturbance that's out over the Gulf of Mexico. Pretty much anywhere from Demopolis to Marion, Clanton, Rockford, Sylacauga, and Point South. I still can't rule out something popping up late tonight. But here's tomorrow. We start out dry, stop it right here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Similar setup. You get the picture, though. Not a lot of wet weather. I can't promise a lot of rain, so make sure you water the garden tomorrow because the wet weather is going to stay very hit or miss. Yet again, the wet weather will be moving east to west across the state of Alabama. But the rain coverage thins out later in the week, and by Friday and Saturday, I should say, based on what we expect to happen here with the general pattern across the region. We have a low chance for tropical development out here across the Gulf of Mexico. The data is telling us this system is going to start drifting to the south and away from the Gulf Coast by the weekend. See how the models bring it to the north, and then you can see through tomorrow, and then it starts to drift back to the south. Yesterday it looked like it might cross Florida, but it looks like it moves south, and there's a reason for that. Is we're seeing indications now that we'll have a stronger northeast to north flow that starts to kick in by Friday and Saturday, and that could actually usher in some lower muggy conditions for us, lower dew points. It won't be quite as humid and sultry there across the area, so that's going to help out just in time. That first weekend of June, we still have the first alert. Next big thing for us, hotter weather to talk about. Highs close to 90 degrees, and the next week, highs closer to 90 degrees. Overnight low temperatures down into the 60s. And earlier in the show, I talked about the El Nino cycle, and it's something that we've been talking about a lot, that the water temperature changes that happen over the equatorial Pacific. Get that out there. I can't believe I was able to say that. That's a tongue twister there, Lauren. But anytime we see those water temperatures rise out over the Pacific, it can have an impact on the weather patterns across North America. So with that in play, it's having an impact on our projected outlook for the hurricane season here coming up. It looks like it's going to be a close to average season. As we go to meteorologist Lauren Linehan. I know, Lauren, it seems like we had the disturbance last week. Now we have a disturbance over the Gulf of Mexico. You look at that and you say, okay, we haven't quite gotten to June 1st yet. What's going on here? But that doesn't necessarily equate with this is going to be a busy season.
Yeah, Wes, that's not necessarily the case by any means. Instead, what we are looking at here in terms of temperatures as we kick off the summer season, it does look like, hey, the southeast could be dealing with above average temperatures, and that could potentially lead to the possibility of more 90s in the forecast. So we're certainly going to be keeping an eye on that in the days ahead. And another thing, we could be seeing an above average chance for precipitation as well. So that could mean some more showers and storms in the forecast as we look at that 8 to 14 day rainfall outlook. So over the next 2 weeks or so. This week, nothing too impressive, but let's take a look beyond the 7 day. Here we are next Thursday, June 8th, showing once again a little trough that has set up in the atmosphere. When you get that can sometimes bring cooler than average temperatures, or sometimes it can bring some more unsettled weather if that trough is approaching. But it looks like right here, it looks like it could be fairly dry next Thursday before possibly going into next Friday. We see a chance of a few showers and storms background. Nothing too major, but the possibility of that second weekend of June, maybe seeing some scattered showers and storms back in the forecast, seeing a bit of a more unsettled weather pattern, not really seeing any major signs of a tropical system. But here we go, another little dip in the jet stream, which you don't get these as often as we go into the summer months because the jet stream has migrated pretty far to the north. But what we could be seeing is the possibility for some scattered showers and storms going into that second full week of June. Here we are, June 13th on a Tuesday, showing some stormy weather possible. So that's likely what that outlook is picking up on. But, you know, we are getting into the summer months, but we can't totally rule out spring, of course. We are on the last day of meteorological spring for today. And if we look back in time, there have been some significant severe weather events across the U.S. that have impacted not just forecasting, but so many lives. We want to take a look now at an interview that happened with Fox Weather today, reflecting on the anniversary of the El Reno tornado.
The twister killed 8 people, including 3 storm researchers who were chasing the storm itself. Tim Samaras, his son Paul Samaras, and friend Carl Young were caught up in the middle of the deadly winds that reached as high as 296 miles per hour. The tornado startled and trapped dozens of storm chasers as it quickly grew in size, and it became a huge, large tornado. Storm chaser Skip Talbot was chasing the same storm on that day and has worked to improve storm chasing safety. Skip is joining us this morning. You know, Skip, it's a lot of emotions to digest, even though it's 10 years past this event. I think for many people, it feels like it really wasn't that long ago that it actually happened.
Yeah. It was super impactful to the whole community, Britta, definitely.
You know, when we look at storm chasing, I mean, that was really the first thing that hooked me when it came to meteorology. I was 8 years old, saw the movie Twister, had in my head, this is what I want to do. There's a lot of young people that they aspire to do the work that you do. How did this event really change how we storm chase?
Yeah, I think this was the day that storm chasing lost its innocence, really. I mean, this was the first tornado to actually kill storm chasers. And we realized that we had a lot of problems within the community. We realized that people were making really bad mistakes in their positioning. They were picking really bad escape routes. And so after that, we realized we needed to make a change and we needed to find better ways to chase these storms.
Now, Skip, thinking about that particular tornado, the Reno tornado in 2013 that did take all of those lives, you know, it is the widest tornado ever recorded. It was 2.6 miles wide, and that happened in a short amount of time. When you were chasing it, did you realize, you know, how quickly things were getting out of hand, how wide it really was? I just can't imagine from a meteorological perspective really seeing those changes in front of my eyes and digesting what's happening.
No, we didn't. When we were in front of this storm, we could see a funnel cloud in the distance several miles back, buried within the core of this high precipitation supercell. And I thought we were okay because I had a fix on this funnel cloud, and it still appeared to be a ways off. My storm chasing partner, Jennifer, however, noted that the rain immediately in front of us was moving at the speed of a tornado. And this rain was covering an area several miles across. And we realized that the winds in this vortex were much, much, much larger than we had anticipated. So we had to just immediately drop everything and just flee east away from this tornado. We had no idea how much trouble we were in at the moment. There was a fatality on the road behind us, and we were about 90 seconds from impact ourselves.
It is terrifying and such a close call. Before we let you go, I do want to talk about Tim, Paul, and Carl. There's a roadside monument from where they were found, right there chasing the El Reno tornado. The storm chasing community is a tight-knit group. What do you want America to know about those three individuals?
Yeah, they were just inspirational role model figures for us. And it was devastating when we lost them. Just so outgoing, compassionate. They would always take the time to talk to you and to listen to you, even though they were legends in the field. And that they were some of the most respected and experienced chasers out there, that this could happen to them. That was really the reason why we all came together to kind of figure out what went wrong and what we can do to try to avoid a tragedy like this in the future.
And let's get one final look at that 7-day forecast. So we still have a chance of a few isolated showers and storms Thursday and Friday, and then looking hot over the weekend. And as we get into June, which is tomorrow, definitely going to gradually see that heat cranking up. Tomorrow, though, not too shabby. But check back in with Wes tonight for an update on that 7-day forecast on First at 9. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Wednesday evening.